What's included with Saberforge empty hilts, or initiateur lightsaber hilts as Saberforge calls them? So this is a Saberforge Fallen and this is a Saberforge Prodigal Son. They're both totally empty, but one thing you may notice right away is that there are no open activation switches. So Saberforge Fallen over here has 2 dummy switches installed right here. And the Prodigal Son, in the activation box area, this is actually a pressable thing. So that's kind of a nice feature if you want to use either these sabers for display right out of the box or even for cosplay. Another thing that's included with many Saberforge empty hilts is a blade plug. So here's the blade plug that came with my Saberforge Fallen. Now you don't have any control over the style blade plug that you receive or the length of the blade plug. Saberforge chooses that for you. Apparently Reactor is a pretty common blade plug to get, but anyway, this is the style that I happen to get. But if you got a Saberforge Fallen, it's possible you would get a different style or length of blade plug than this. Another thing that's included is some retention screws. So it depends on the style of the hilt. This hilt here, the Fallen, has 2 retention screws in the rear, and they're included. The Prodigal Son over here has just 1 at the top, but same thing, that's included. And in addition to that, the hex key for those retention screws is also included. Now, depending on the hilt style that you get, you'll have either a cover tech wheel or some kind of ring like on the Prodigal Son. And keep in mind that even though you receive a hex key for the retention screws, you don't get a hex key to undo the cover tech wheel if that's something that you want to do. So at any rate, I think that's about all that I wanted to cover here. What my favorite part probably about these empty hilts is that you can just kind of display them right out of the box or wear them, but you do also have the option to do your own electronics installs down the line if that's something you're looking into doing. So that's just kind of Saberforge empty hilts, initiate tier hilts in a nutshell.